Welcome to MMA Dogs. My name is Hector. This is my dog Dan.
Hi.
And we are in Las Vegas, the home of the UFC
and the mecca of MMA.
In our opinion, and we've talked about this before. What do you got, dog?
Yeah, we both agree on this. They go out there and finish a fight early in the first round, but don't get caught speeding. Don't get caught speeding on this fight.
They're against a guy who just got bit by a dog with rabies or something.
For me, it's do not bet.
And betting advice: do not bet. But it's going to be one of those things, guys. I really feel it.
It's unanimous. MMA Dogs have spoken.
5-star, and that's going to be a knockout. Just something to highlight the night.
MMADogs.com. MMADAWGS.com. Who's ready to make some money? I know we are. If you're ready to consistently profit over and over again, you've come to the right place. Now let's go to my dog Hector from America's finest city.
Welcome to MMA Dogs. My name is Hector, and as always, thank you for tuning in. Now, if you're watching this before UFC 169, that means you're a client, and we appreciate your business. Now, before we get started, we always want to make sure we go over a couple things. So the first thing is you never want to bet more than you can afford to lose. And the second thing is you always want to check your local laws. Make sure it's all legal and legit. For example, for us, the MMA Dogs, we got Vegas, a 30-minute plane ride away. So there's always options. You can always look around and see what's around you. Now, before we dive into it, go check out our website, MMADAWGS.com. There you'll find all the numbers, all the stats, all the 5-star, 4-star, 3-star picks, and all that good stuff. And I'm really excited for tomorrow night. It's Friday night. We're here in San Diego, so it's 12. Actually, it's Saturday. It's 12:38 a.m. So it's Saturday, really, really early. And I wish we had more time from the weigh-in on Friday to the fight on Saturday night. But there's a lot of information that we are exposed to or that we investigate on that happens after the weigh-ins and right around the weigh-in time. And so, no need to go running with a fistful of cash when the line first comes out. There's a lot of information that gets revealed, especially stuff like I said, the weigh-ins, the hydration levels, the diets, the injuries, all that good stuff. So it's Saturday morning, really early, and the work is done. It's finalized. Homework's done. Everything's been watched. Everything's been listened to. Everything's been observed. Everything's been studied. So it's time to break it down and have a get to the good stuff. So MMA Dogs, UFC 169. There aren't any 5-star plays. There's no 4-star plays, but there's a bunch of 3-star plays. So with that being said, let's go into our number one pick. So we'll cover all 12 fights, break it down from number 1 all the way to number 12. So the number 1 play that my dog and I like is Ali Bagautinov, and Russian fighter, sitting at minus 159 right now. Ali really has impressed me a lot. And from when he made his debut and showed a ton of heart, showed his cardio, and I knew that he would improve his second time in the octagon when he fought Tim Elliott, and he did. He looked very impressive. Just overall game, stand up, the wrestling, the takedown defense. Everything. The footwork, the distance, the timing, everything. It's just impressed me about him. The chin, the heart, the power. He's just got it all. He's got it all. He's only getting better. He's only getting more confident. He's going to have the cardio advantage here in this fight. So I love that. He's going to have the wrestling advantage in this fight. And like I said, he's got a chin and he's got heart. So he's got all the tools for a good fighter. And with Lineker, he missed weight. So that's a bad sign. I know he'd been training at American Top Team in Coconut Creek, but he just can't get that weight under control. at this point, I'm thinking it's a mental thing. It's could be a mental thing with him about dieting and how much food he intakes, and whether a lot of these guys have to starve themselves because they're not doing things properly, or if they're just really, really big. Their frame is really, really big for that weight class. So I'm starting to believe that's the case for Lineker. And he didn't make weight. Weighed in 127. Then he took the hour or however long it took him to get that last pound off. So he's down to 126. But when you do something like that, it just takes that last bit of gusto, last bit of energy to make that weight, and that's not a good thing for him. So I expect him to gas tomorrow if he doesn't get finished, and that'll be that. So the second pick, number two, and I really this is a fight that I wanted to go with a dog, but I mean come on, let's be realistic here, and that's Jose Aldo inside the distance at minus 175. And that's what we got it at, minus 175. He looks excellent and in a great mood. And that's a very, very good sign for Jose Aldo. We already know what he can do in the octagon. Fast. He's got power. He's got jiu-jitsu. He's got the takedown defense. He's got it all. Explosive, dynamic. Just a great, great fighter. A really good striker. And so we know what we're going to get out of him. And then with Ricardo Lamas, like I said, I was hoping to go with the dog here, hoping to see something in the dog. And yeah, he's a good wrestler. He's powerful, but that chin is just very, very questionable. So unfortunately, I can't go with Lamas. Got to go with Aldo there. And inside the distance, minus 175. That's a great. That's right around where the line should be, if not higher, minus 250 around there, because of Lamas' chin. So, yeah, so Jose Aldo. And the big thing for me with him is how hydrated he is, how in shape he is, how motivated he is, and he passed all those tests. So I'm excited for that one. Number 3, another 3-star. So number 1. Ali, number 2, Jose, number 3, another 3-star. We got 3 stars so far, and this is going to be Abel Trujillo. Abel Trujillo. He's at plus 125, so he's a slight dog there. Once again, speed, power, explosive, dynamic with the Black Zillions. His fight he had with Bowling, second one, man, he just looked like he had improved significantly. And I don't see this guy slowing down at all. I don't see Varner slowing him down. Now with Varner, he's already talking about retirement. He's going to retire when he's 33. I think he's 29 right now. He's talking about, he's injury prone, breaks hands in fights, taking this fight on short notice. Not extremely short. I think it's like a little over a month. But still, he got real heavy. He's opening a new gym. He's got a new camp that he put together. He slows down in fights. I'm not a big fan of Jamie Varner right now. Maybe years back, but he's got a lot of miles on that body, and unfortunately for him, they put him up against Trujillo. So I love Trujillo in this fight. Number 4. We're gonna go with another dog here. So hopefully we got the dogs barking tomorrow, and this is another 3-star. It's Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee sitting at plus 210 right now. And he's making his UFC debut. 7-0. He's a real good wrestler. He's got a lot of hype behind him. So I'm surprised the line's still sitting as high as it is. He's got really good striking, so he's well-rounded. In this fight, he needs to take the fight. He needs to take Iaquinta down, which he can do, and give him some ground and pound, heavy, ground and pound. And Kevin Lee quit school to focus on MMA. So I'm looking for him to have improved even from the last fight I saw of him. And with Iaquinta, he's a good fighter. I really like his footwork. I like his boxing. He needs to keep this fight on the feet. And even if he keeps it on the feet, it's not guaranteed he's going to win. He got his purple belt recently under Matt Serra. He's got decent wrestling, offense and defensive wrestling. But I like the upset special here with Kevin Lee. And at those odds, how can you pass that up? I can't pass it up. We're not going to pass it up. So that's 3, 4. That's 4 3-star plays. Let's move on to the fifth one. The fifth 3-star play is Alan Patrick, the Brazilian, sitting at plus 140. It's his second fight in the UFC. He has relentless takedowns. He trains at X Gym with Jacare and all those coaches. He's got to get the takedown and control the fight. You can't keep this fight on the feet with Makdessi. So basically, it's a grappler versus a striker. In this fight, unlike the previous one, Patrick has to get the takedown. In my opinion, he has to get the takedown, and Patrick will go for the submission, which he can get against Makdessi. So get the takedown, get the submission. Now, Patrick looked excellent at the weigh-ins. I wish he hadn't done that backflip and really, showed everybody how good he feels, but he did it anyways. So that's out of the bag, But with Makdessi, he's got good karate, good stand-up. He's fought better opposition, with Patrick only second fight in the UFC, but he has to keep the fight on the feet, and he's had trouble with it. He fought Hallman a couple of years ago, and he had a lot of trouble with him. I remember that fight like it was yesterday. And a lot of times with those kind of fighters, you see a recipe on how to beat them, and you just have to duplicate it. Obviously, he's worked on his takedown defense, so it won't be like ding ding gets a takedown and submits him, but it could be. And I believe Patrick can definitely take him down, and it's just a matter of time before he sinks in that choke or controls him. So that's that pick there. So that's 5 3-star picks, and the 6th 3-star pick is Tom Watson inside the distance, plus 150. So Tom Watson, nasty clinch game, powerful striker, needs to keep the fight on the feet, so he can't get taken down. What Taylor Leites did to him in Brazil, that lit a fire under his ass. Getting taken down like that and beat up is never fun. So that's something that he's been working on, takedown defense and wrestling. And then with Catone, his last win was nearly 3 years ago. The one before that was 4 years ago. Last 2 fights, he's been finished. He hasn't fought in 10 months. He's a good wrestler, but he's very injury prone. He's had to pull out of fights for a torn Achilles, an injured back, injured shoulder, dehydration. He's just, no disrespect to him. He's towards the end of his career, and he has to recognize that, and hopefully he recognizes it after this fight, after we cash out on Tom Watson. And so that makes our 6 picks there. 6 picks right there. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the rest of these are food for thought. Okay, so before we go into the bets, we'll go over the food for thought. Food for thought. My number 7 pick, Clint Hester. Almost made it for me. Almost made it. Very powerful, very strong, athletic. He's got 9 wins, 7 of them by knockout TKO. He's got the takedown defense and cardio. So he's got it. He has to show us the takedown defense and the cardio in this fight. He may not even need the cardio because he might knock out ends in the first or second round. He might not even get to the third. Actually, he might knock him out in the first round. Won't even need to get to the second round, or obviously, or third. But he definitely has to keep the fight on the feet. And if he stays on the feet, he's gonna hurt him. With ends, he's a Ultimate Fighter. He went to decision with Hall with a broken arm, so he's tough. He's 7-0, 5 submissions, so he's got the submission game. But this fights were in Alaska, and he moved from Alaska to MMA Lab, which is scary, if you're picking against him. And he has to get the takedown. But to take Clint Hester down, he's going to eat a bunch of punches and kicks and knees and elbows, and he's just going to get hurt, and he should get knocked out. So let's move on to my number 8 pick. Number 8 pick is Renan Barao, once again, I wanted to go with the dog, but it's one of those things where it's fun. It's an exciting thing to go with the dog, but if you don't truly believe that the dog can win, then why go with the dog? It's throwing away money. So I got Renan Barao. They've already fought once. Faber, I have no doubts that Faber wasn't fighting at his best when they met the first time. Barao completely dominated the fight. So I expect a better Faber, but also expect a better Barao. And Barao's been training with Aldo, of course, down there with Andre Pederneiras, and all those savages down there. BJ Penn down there with him too. So I expect to see an improved Barao, even though I expect an improved Faber. Number 9. So we're getting down to the bottom of it. Number 9. This is my last confident pick. After this, they're a toss-up. So number 9, Overeem, the Reem. So with him, he's been a disappointment since he came over from Strikeforce. He's got strength, he's got power, but the best description I've heard of him so far to date is he has 185 pound person's chin and a 257 pound body. So here's a guy who has really pushed his frame and his genetics to above the natural limit. It's no surprise that he's on PEDs, testosterone, whatever kind of enhancement, physical enhancement he's been taking. It's no mystery to anybody. I mean, you've got to be a fool to not see it, especially when MMA fighters, so many of them are taking PEDs, TRT, maybe HGH, insulin, whatever other stuff they're taking. It's really making it ugly. It's getting ugly. We saw what GSP's been talking about lately, and yeah, that's another whole topic. But to get him, Overeem's got to get him up against the cage and finish him there, like Carwin did, like Barnett did. Mir up against the cage will crumble. Now, Mir didn't go to Greg Jackson's camp, which concerns me, and Greg Jackson won't be in his corner. He needs to get the fight to the ground, obviously. So he needs to find a way to get to the ground or expose the 185-pound chin and the 257-pound body. So this one, I lean towards Overeem. If anything, it'd be obviously inside the distance. But even then, with these heavyweights, God, last thing we need is something like that. So, man, that's a tough one. And these last 3 are basically a toss-up. I'll go over it. So with Neil Magny, Ultimate Fighter, he's fought on the Ultimate Fighter, and then he's fought 3 times in the UFC already. He fought at 157. I saw him fight John Manley. I wasn't impressed with either guy. He trains at Grudge in Colorado. He trains with Elliot Marshall was up there with him. Elliot Marshall used to be a UFC fighter, really, really good jiu-jitsu guy, but that's about it. He's well-rounded, but nothing that's not outstanding in anything. Magny's so just about everywhere. He's going to have the octagon advantage, like I said. He's fought in the UFC 3 times already. He's 26 years old, so he's going to have more upside for me than the Russian. But, he's fought better opposition as well, and he should have the wrestling advantage. With Molotov, he's making his UFC debut. The Russian Fight Night team, which is very successful. He's 31 years old, so it's now or never for him. He is improving fight to fight, so I have seen improvements from his fights that I got hold of here watching, and he's aggressive and wild, but that can work against him as well. And he's well-rounded, but also nothing that he's outstanding at, where I'm like, oh, wow, he's really got this. So this one really is a toss-up for me. It's 50-50. I'm leaning Magny, like I said, but I wouldn't be surprised if Molotov gets the knockout or the decision. This next one's interesting. It's Chris Cariaso. I'm taking Chris Cariaso over Martinez. Now, what do we know about Cariaso? He's quick. He's got good striking. I like his kicks. He needs to keep the fight on the feet. He is active on the ground, though, if he gets put on his back. Well-rounded. And his last fight, to me, he looked good, especially down in Brazil. And he's going to have the speed advantage over Martinez. Now, Martinez comes in with a lot of hype. Training partner to Dominic Cruz down here in San Diego at Alliance Gym. You know, he hasn't fought in 2 years besides the Ultimate Fighter that he tried out for. He's got decent boxing. He's got good wrestling. So he's going to need to get the fight to the ground here against Cariaso. Like I said, he's going to have the speed advantage over Martinez. So he needs to get it to the ground. And he's been living at the gym. So he's super dedicated, super committed. So that's why, like I said, it's another 50-50 fight for me. But all in Cariaso there. And then another dog I'm going to go with, Tony Martin. And this is an interesting one here because he's making his UFC debut. He's only been a pro for 2 years. But 2 of his last 3 opponents were decent. Very decent guys. So Tony Martin's 9-0, and he's going to have the wrestling advantage. And then with Rashid Magomedov, he's making his UFC debut and his lightweight debut. He hasn't fought in over a year, but his last 2 fights were 5-minute round decision victories for him. 15-1, and he's going to have the striking advantage for sure in this fight. So wrestler versus striker, grappler versus striker, and hopefully the dog barks there. So that covers all 12 fights. Now for the bets, MMA dog bets, UFC 169. My allergies are kicking in here. So 1 unit equals 1% of the bankroll. Okay, 1 unit, 1% of the bankroll. So straight bets, we're gonna go with Ali. What's his nickname? The Puncher King or the Puncher's King or something like that. The King of Punches. Ali Bagautinov at minus 159. Full and lay 4 units on him. 4 units to win 2.52. Next one we'll take is Aldo inside the distance at minus 175. 3.5 units to win 2. Next guy, Abel Trujillo at plus 110. 3 units to win 3.3. Next, Kevin Lee at plus 210. 2.5 units to win 5.25 units. Next guy, Alan Patrick at plus 140. 2.15 units to win 3.01. And then we'll take Tom Watson inside the distance at plus 150. 1.5 units to win 2.25 units. So that covers all the straight bets there. Then we'll take a round robin parlay of 2s. We're going to go with Trujillo at plus 110. Lee at plus 210. Bagautinov at minus 159. And Patrick at plus 140. A total of 1.5 units. So 1.5 units total to win 6.34 units. And then we're going to do a parlay. A 4-leg parlay of Bagautinov, Trujillo, Lee, and Patrick. So Ali, Abel, Kevin Lee, and Alan Patrick. So those odds are crazy. It's plus 2,447, 2,447. So we're going to do a quarter unit, so 0.25 units to win 6.12. So obviously that one's just for fun. It's just, a little something on it. And then we're going to do a little Hail Mary prop bet here. Just in case it hits, you never know. It's going to be Urijah Faber by decision at plus 630. So we'll do 0.10 units to win 0.63. Just in case of a little upset there. Just a little something fun to have on the main event. But, so yeah, that covers all the bets there. A total of 18.50 units. 18.5 units to win 31.42 units. So the risk is 18.50 units to win 31.42. So that sums it all up. All the bets summed up there. All here. And then, yeah, I'm super excited for tomorrow. Really looking forward to those 6 fights. Really looking forward to Ali, Jose, Abel, Kevin Lee fight, Patrick, Tom Watson, especially those fights. And yeah, so that's it. And then after that, we got the Super Bowl, Sunday Super Bowl. For that one, I'll be taking the Broncos for sure. So Broncos on that. But that's another video. So everybody, I hope you guys enjoy the fights and have a nice, safe weekend. And check out the website. So it's MMADAWGS.com. And I'll talk to you guys later. Good luck.
Nobody likes to lose, so be done letting that money burn its way through your pockets. Slow down, get ready. We are so confident that you will profit from our picks that if you don't, we will refund your money and give you the next card on us. In order to profit in the long run, it's important to be consistent with our picks. Rome wasn't built in a day and neither was Vegas. MMADogs.com. Profit guaranteed.
MMA Dogs.